Hey guys, let's get more news from Dallas Cowboys, but first don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave your like. Rex Ryan, competing with key New York Jets assistant coach for Cowboys DC job. There's a good chance someone with New York Jets coaching ties is named the new defensive coordinator of the Dallas Cowboys, and it's very possible it will be Rex Ryan. Yes, that Rex Ryan. The Cowboys reportedly interviewed the former NFL coach for their vacant defensive coordinator position on Wednesday, making him one of the first known candidates for the role. Meanwhile, ESPN's Todd Archer is reporting that Jets safeties coach Marquand Manuel is set to interview with the Cowboys for the same job on Thursday. This is the second interview that Manuel has received this offseason, as he previously met with the Jacksonville Jaguars for their defensive coordinator opening. Manuel is at least an active coach. The 61-year-old Ryan hasn't coached at any level of the sport since he was fired by the Buffalo Bills in 2016. That's almost 8 years ago. Ryan has been quietly looking to return to the NFL as a coach in recent years. Denver Broncos head coach Sean Payton was reportedly considering Ryan for his team's defensive coordinator job last year, before he opted for Vance Joseph instead. At his peak, Ryan was one of the brightest defensive minds in the NFL. His defensive prowess helped engineer a dominant Baltimore Ravens defense in the mid-2000s, and his work with the Jets as a head coach needs no introduction. Still, that peak was over a decade ago. Ryan's latter days as Jets head coach won't be at the front of his resume, and the less said about his Bills tenure, the better. The Cowboys are also interested in a few other experienced names, such as the recently fired Ron Rivera and former Minnesota Vikings head coach Mike Zimmer, who similarly hasn't coached in the NFL in a few years. Ryan, however, would be one of the wildest coaching hires in recent memory. It's fun to imagine what a Cowboys defense, led by the likes of Micah Parsons, Trayvon Diggs, etc., would look like under Ryan's leadership in 2024, but it's also fair to be skeptical. Either way, Rex Ryan would certainly fit the Cowboys mold. They may not win a championship, but they're always interesting. Ryan has never been accused of not being interesting. It would be fun to see Ryan back in the NFL, and if it means the Jets get to keep one of their top defensive assistants, then here's to hoping it happens. Quinn reveal makes Pollard smartest Cowboy. We've always known that Dallas Cowboys running back Tony Pollard was a pretty sharp guy. But not under Wednesday here in Las Vegas, the site of Sunday's Super Bowl, did we know just how sharp. You know what's crazy? Pollard said when asked on the Pat McAfee show about assistant coach Dan Quinn having left the Star to take the Washington Commanders head coach job. "I just found out right now." Wait. How can that be? The news has been out there for almost a week and was made official on Saturday. And since then, there have been a flood of stories about which Dallas assistants he might take with him and which defensive coordinator candidates are being interviewed to take his place. How can all of that news have escaped Pollard? Simple. He has apparently discovered what we believe to be the secret to the modern athlete's utilization of social media. As we state often and have said to the face of an assortment of Cowboys players who get far too wrapped up in what is said about them on Twitter and beyond, social media should be used by you to promote your charities and to send photos of your kids to grandma. That's it, and by gosh, given that Pollard didn't find out that Quinn left to become the head coach at Washington until he mixed his way into interviews on Radio Row? He must be following that rule, or something like it. "See, I haven't been on social media," Pollard said. "I got rid of Instagram like midway through the season. Being a Cowboys, you just have to find ways to keep your mental, on point. I just found out right now." We've seen skeptics insist that TP's claim is difficult to believe, but the skeptics are wrong. As of 2021, only 23% of U.S. adults were in Twitter. Meaning the huge majority of Americans don't get lured into the echo chambers and the mindless arguing and the trolling and the cesspool. Pollard is about to hit free agency, where his every strength and his every weakness are about to be scrutinized by experts who actually know very little about those strengths and weaknesses. Meaning he has picked an excellent time to pay no attention to it. Dallas Cowboys linked to top free agent center. Major changes could be coming along the Dallas Cowboys offensive line this season. Long one of the top offensive line units across the entire NFL, veteran Tyron Smith could be heading for the exits as an unrestricted free agent. Center Tyler Biadasz might not be a top priority to re-sign, especially given Dallas' cataclysmic salary cap situation, which could pave the way for some new faces arriving in 2024. Pro Football Focus believes the Cowboys are an ideal fit for Las Vegas Raiders center Andre James, projected to be the outlet's number 2 ranked center available this offseason. Dallas will look to replace a smart, high-floor center with another one in James, Brad Spielberger writes for PFF, who earned career-high marks as a run blocker and pass protector in 2023 and has rarely missed a snap since taking over the starting job. James graded out well on zone and gap scheme rushes, and Dallas never skimps along the line. If the Cowboys are going to take the next step in 2024, advancing past the NFC divisional playoffs for the first time in 29 years, keeping Dak Prescott upright and opening running lanes for whoever is alongside him in the backfield will be a top priority on offense. The Cowboys could look to the NFL draft to replace Biadasz, if he's elsewhere, as a younger and cheaper option. However, James is a proven veteran commodity who could alleviate any concerns about working in a developmental prospect in the middle of an offensive line for an offense expected to be among the most prolific in the league. While James has yet to be named to a Pro Bowl or All-Pro team, he is an ascending talent at a key position. According to Pro Football Focus, James was the number 9 ranked center in the NFL during the 2023 season, while surrendering just 4 sacks and 19 total quarterback pressures in 963 total snaps for the Raiders. Meanwhile, James' 12.8% run block grade percentage from PFF just might hold the key to unlocking a Cowboys rushing offense that finished the 2023 campaign that finished just 14th in the NFL, while averaging just 112.9 rushing yards per game. While the Cowboys are going to need to get creative to be in a position to spend big in free agency, currently projected to be $14.2 million over the cap, James could prove an affordable option. Over the cap projects James' market value to come in at approximately $4.32 million annually. The home of the Cowboys, AT&T Stadium, is one of the most renowned venues in the world and will play host to matches during the 2026 FIFA World Cup. But, the stadium won't be bearing its corporate-sponsored name during those contests. In accordance with strict FIFA rules, AT&T Stadium will become Dallas Stadium for the matches that it hosts. A new name won't be the only change. Ahead of the World Cup, the Cowboys will install a natural grass soccer pitch in place of the artificial turf field, as FIFA does not stage games on turf. Additionally, the stadium will undergo over $295 in new renovations to prepare for hosting the World Cup. And you fan, what do you think of the Andre James situation? Leave your opinion in the comments.